Hi, I'm Aaron Standberry, and I'm here today to let you know that I have just posted another tutorial. That's right, a tutorial on how to bring in quizzes into your environment. Say, for instance, you're teaching a class on, let's just say, solar system, and you want to be able for your students to take a quiz inside of Engage to see how the information is being retained. Well, you can bring a quiz into Engage, and that's what we're going to talk about today, how to bring a quiz into Engage. So with that, I'll see you on the other side.
Okay, here we go again with another tutorial, and this tutorial today, as mentioned before, is going to be on how to develop a quiz within the Engage ecosystem. And in doing so, it enables you to keep track of the progress of whatever course you're teaching your students and how they're progressing through it. So let's get started with that. So what we need to do first is go to our Chrome or our Google. Go to Chrome or Google. It'll bring up your whatever your site there, and then we're just going to go to the Engage VR.io website, which is considered your web manager when dealing within the Engage ecosystem. You're going to log in, and when you log in, you're going to come to your profile page, and on your profile page, looking at the screen to your left, you're going to see a variety of different items. What we're going to do, we're going to go right down here to where it says quizzes, because that's what we're doing today. We're going to develop a quiz. So we click on quiz, and it will bring up a page that shows you all the quizzes that you have within your account, your web manager, and it just gives you information about them. The last one down here, Solar System 1, is the one that we're going to be looking at today, one that I put together earlier. So we put it together, and this is how it goes. Okay, so this is your settings, and your settings is um, what the title is or the name of it. This is Solar System 1. And then you have these variety of things here. One is time, so we're not putting a time limit on this test so the person can take as long as they want. A passing score is going to be 70%. Now, the max form submission is the number of times a person can submit a completed question. So that's going to be the maximum time. Maximum answers submitted is the number of times a person can submit an answer within the form. And you see on the other side, they can't submit it but once in the initial. And as you see over to your right side, you have different areas of how to negotiate. We're going to stay within the ones that are already highlighted as a generic or the basic understanding of what we're going to be looking for in this quiz. And you see here that it is a quiz. If you pull down the drop down menu, you're going to see the different types of things you're going to have. You can have a questionnaire, you can have an exam, you can have feedback form, you do a quick quiz, a pop up quiz, or LMS exam. So either one of them. But we're going to stay on the learning quiz. So with that being saved, save it. It's already saved. It says could tell you but just encourage you. There is no updates that we want to do. So it has been updated. So now we want to go to how do you submit a question? How do you place a question into your bank? Well, if you go here, you see that we already have two questions in our bank right here. We have two questions in there. So, how we get those in there? We're gonna go here and click on them, and it shows you this information here. This is the question. This is the question title, which would be Solar System 1. And the first question is going to be what is the central body of the solar system. It gives, and if you collect it right, you get 1 mark to go along with your score. And if you want to add another answer to it or answer, you can go over here and add an answer. But we've already subjected our answers. So we find here the 4 answers that we have already placed in here. Three of them are wrong, are incorrect, and one of them is correct. So this is the way that look. Well, as far as your questions go, you save it. It's already been saved. Same thing goes for the second question. It's going to keep tab of how many marks is needed to take the test. So with that information out of the way, we're going to leave our Engage website. We're going to leave our Engage manager and go into the actual Engage ecosystem or the Engage platform to show you how this works. Okay, we're back with you on how to bring a quiz into the Engage ecosystem so that you can monitor the progression of your students as they go through your course. And here, as you see, we're in the front part of Engage, which is the opening screen where everything happening. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go to start a session. So we're going to start this session. I'm going to go to the Engage Studio meeting room. It's going to be just me. And in here is where we're going to bring in our quiz and see how um, we can go about utilizing this within our classroom. So now that we're inside the Engage Studio meeting room, we're going to go to the top left up here, the top left portion up here, and click those three things on the left hand and bring up our menu. This is our menu. Once we're into the menu, we're going to go down to the bottom here and scroll over. When you scroll over, you see it says quizzes. So once it says quizzes, you click on that, and what it's going to do then is bring up all the quizzes that you have within your system, within your Engage Web Manager, which is what we just did earlier when we went in and made the question or made the test. So here we go. We're in here. So we're going to click on Solar System 1, and it's going to show you the same thing that we showed you before in the Engage environment of, once again, the time limit. There's no time limit. And then we click on here, which is the percentage required to pass a marked form, such as a quiz or test. The next one here is submission, the number of times a person can submit a completed quiz. We got 3 here. And the last one is answer submitted, the number of times a person can submit an answer within a form, which is 0, which we can only do it the initial time and then move on. Over here, once again, I'm re-explaining all of this. Over here, you have the areas that is going to be looked at as far as our quiz goes. Here up here, like I said before, we're going to be doing a learning quiz. But if we go over here and click the drop down, it's going to give you once again the various different types of quizzes and exams that you can do. But we're going to be staying here on the learning test. So what we're going to do now is go back to the list. Once we go back to the list and we click on that again, it's going to bring this back up. Now we can go in and actually see the questions. And like I said earlier in the earlier one on how we got here, is that you can go here and put your questions in on how you want to. You can add a question, add a info slide if you want, or you can just do. Now how do we get that in? Just like I showed you before, you click on it, it's going to bring up this information here. It's going to show you the question title, the question itself, how many marks there, And then here it has at the bottom here it has your answers to your questions as far as they're incorrect or they are correct. And they're going to show you this feedback here whenever you click on it. If you want to add another answer, you just click on here. You can add another answer to your question, but we're not going to do that. And then you go down here and save it, and we do, and then we continue on. Now, one thing I do want you to remember, which I didn't tell you earlier, was that if you click on this here, it's gonna give your um, quiz answers randomly in random order, but you're still gonna have the name, the number there, and we're going to resave our quiz here. And now we're going to go back. Now, if you want to see what your submissions are, and your submissions are the number of the people who took the test along with their information. So if you click here, this is the recent one. But if you scroll down, you can go here and it shows you the people who have taken the test and have taken the quiz. And you see I've taken the quiz several times just to check and make sure it is functioning properly. And this is what it came up with. Now this one down here with the 00 is the times that I took the test under, and I just put both of them wrong just to see what type of response we would get. So if we go back to the list here, now now we want to be able to what we call deliver the quiz to the individuals that you want to take the quiz. And in order to do that, you go here and you press deliver. When you press deliver, it's going to ask you who do you want to deliver to? Do you want to do just myself? Do you want to do everyone? Or do you want to select some people specifically to take this particular quiz? You can do either one of those three. We're going to leave it right now as me taking because I'm the only one in here, just myself. So it's going to deliver that quiz to me. Now, if you see the answers came in randomly, which is cool, no problem, because you know what the if you know the information, you already know what the answer is. So therefore, it don't matter how it comes in. So the question is, what is the central body of the solar system? And the central body of the solar system is the sun. We click on the sun and we submit that answer. It comes back and say that answer is correct. The sun is the central body of the solar system. Now we submit that answer and it goes to the next question. The next question is what group of planets is known as the terrestrial planets? Well, we know that is B, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, but we're going to click on A, and clicking on A, it'll come back and tell us that that question is incomplete or incorrect. So we submit it. It comes back and tell us here that that we've taken the test. To get 100%, you had to get both of the questions right. But in this, our total answer was one of two, so we got 50%. So now you can go back out of here, but that 50% passed. Come back into the test, come back into to this, and if you go here and click on this and go to submission, and then you can scroll down and you can see once again I've taken the test. I got 50% on that test, so you can keep a running statistics of the people that have taken that test, and just let you know what their status is and whether or not they are retaining the information that you are giving them. So if we go back here, we find everything is good. Now we can log out of here by going going back or checking out, clicking out, and we go back to our studio area. So with that, we want to exit out of here. And with that, we want to thank you for watching this tutorial, and we know that you got something out of it. And if you have any questions, you know how to get in contact with me.
Well, we know you enjoyed that presentation or that tutorial on how to bring a quiz into your engaged environment so that you can monitor your students and make sure that they're understanding the information that you're giving them both in the real world and in the engaged world. So once again, I'm Aaron Stanberry, and we are glad to be with you to help you learn how to navigate the engaged ecosystem.